An interesting way to think about foreshadowing, in my opinion, is to think of it as sort of like a fourth wall break. You know, when you're sort of telling someone a story in conversation, you're just telling them about something that happened during the day, and like you haven't quite got to the point yet to the, I don't know, the crazy bit that happened, but maybe you just keep hinting to them like, hey, pay attention to that. They just, just yeah, can you see where this is going? Huh? That sort of attitude that you can have towards someone when telling them about something. And I kind of feel like foreshadowing is sort of the same thing. It's like the writer doing some sort of fourth wall break, like directly talking to the audience, like, hey, I know what happens, and I think you know what is going to happen. And if you don't, well, just pay attention to that. Just look at that, you know. So that's a pretty cool way of thinking about it. The story's already happened, and if you're telling someone a story in conversation, it's already happened. They know it's already happened. So if you hint at what's to come, it's not anything weird. It's like, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing where this all leads to. And in a story like a film or a novel or a theatre performance or anything like that, the way it's told is way more immersive, and it's told as though you're meant to experience it as though it's all playing out in real time, and like you're the person watching it happen, especially if it's a film or a TV show. But there's still a part of you that knows that the story's already been written, and the writer knows that you're going to know that too. And I feel like foreshadowing, when you take details from a future event, you scatter them into the past, or you simply just hint at things that kind of remind you of what you know is going to come. It's this sort of fourth wall break. It's like the writer telling the audience, just hinting, I know you know that the ending is already set. And I know that you know that I know how it ends. So just, if you want to know, just look at that. Keep an eye out. Look at that bird. Look at that weapon. I don't know. Just pay a bit more attention to what that guy said with the slow camera zoom, or the intense music, or I don't know, or the writer spent a bit too much time focusing on that pistol on the wall there, And this is what I was talking about with the fake foreshadowing. The audience know that the writer sometimes hints at what's to come, because the audience know that the writer knows that the audience know that the story is already written. And so the writer knows how things end. And the audience know that the writer sometimes hints that. And so, but the audience doesn't always know that the writer sometimes hints at how things are going to end when they don't end that way. And it's a bit of a cop-out, you might think, but I actually think it can be really cool. Because here's what happens with people. You get worried about a particular situation, and you start to notice things that kind of confirm to you that what you think might happen is probably going to play out that way. It's that confirmation bias. You get really worried. You're like, oh God, I feel like I know how this is going to play out. You start to have dreams. You start to, I don't know, notice things. You go, oh God, it's a sign. It's a sign. And, you're not always correct. A lot of the time you think something's going to play out in a particular way. It just doesn't. But in those moments, you're really convinced. Now, why would the writer show the audience things that suggest things are going to play out in a particular way? I'll tell you why. Because that's what people experience. People experience the world this way. People get worried. People have an idea about how things play out. So do characters in the story. And characters notice signs. They have dreams. Characters can be completely convinced, or even just have this gut feeling that, oh my God, I know how things are going to play out. Oh no, I just know. Oh, there's another sign. Doesn't mean they're right. But what's stopping the writer from showing the audience the experiences that the character's having as though it's correct? So that's kind of what I mean by fake foreshadowing. If anyone needed clarification, I don't know if that did clarify, but we'll see. I hope that's given you stuff to think about.